Hi, today I'm going to record a live Facebook earnings call. The company is going to announce earnings and we are not going to have a long position in Facebook. And I'm going to explain why. In the first place, the reason is very simple for those that they are subscribers. For those that they are subscribers, I've been defending that Facebook it is a strong buy, and it is a strong buy since we called the bottom recently in May when the stock corrected all the way down to $58. So at $58 we reinvested or we re-entered alongside in Facebook. However, since I announced that my bullish target in Facebook to be $83 and the stock today traded to $80, I don't see, quite frankly, any reason to remain long Facebook just because the stock can trade at $83 or $85. So there is a risk in Facebook, and our decision is correlated precisely to that risk assessment, in the sense that we always have an upside target as well as a downside target, as well as a direction of investment. So the direction of investment in Facebook on a long-term basis, it has been the long side. Since I announced the bottom in Facebook a couple of years ago or 3 years ago when the stock plunged to $18, but Facebook today it is a company that is trading at $80 and where I consider the upside to be limited. So if you wish to remain long the stock is up to you, but I'm not going to remain long Facebook. And moreover, although I've been bullish Facebook, I also have to say that if you intend to go short or to remain short Facebook ahead of earnings, you are not going to lose money. You are not going to lose money because the amount of profits in the past years made in Facebook is so large that no matter where Facebook is going to trade after hours or what the stock is going to do after earnings, you can remain or you can have in fact a short position in Facebook. This because in first place, I repeat, I'm not going to remain long the stock. I sold every single share. I repeat, because my upside in Facebook to be $83, that is what I see in Facebook as, let's say, the most bullish case. And on the short side, I'm not going to give a number because that is confidential. So I repeat that if I had to choose a position going through earnings in Facebook, I will choose the short side and not the long side. But not only because the upside appears to be limited, is also a decision that is based on the fact that it appears to me that on a long-term basis, everyone appears to be already long the stock. So the Wall Street has been upgrading continuously this stock. I repeat that I agreed with the upgrades, namely our upgrade at $58, because that was a good price to re-enter on a long-term basis the stock. But as you all know, we always buy or we invest on weakness, and we never we chase the momentum. So also to refer to the last earnings, I maintained the strong buy rating in Facebook, and in July not only I maintained the strong buy rating in Facebook, as I on the gap to the upside, I told you to remain long the stock, even as you could see in by the end of July the stock pulled back a bit, but I recommended to add to the long side and to maintain the swing long position. However, this quarter I cannot say the same because for obvious reasons the stock now it trades above $80, and so I will not remain long the stock because I consider that right now it is risky. And it is risky because you don't know also what the company is going to say, whether it is going to miss or beat earnings, and what is going to be the guidance, okay? So pretty much I would say that the performance of this stock will be correlated with the overall market, but also in a certain sense what the company is going to announce in terms of the guidance. And there is here one thing that I think that most investors, they neglect or they forgot, is that Facebook, and I told you this about already several months ago, Facebook, in my opinion, made a very wrong investment when they decided to purchase that company, where they paid a huge amount for that company that you all know which company I'm talking about. And at that time, I told you that I disagreed with that, let's say, purchase, and I continue to disagree. And I said one very important thing is that let's say, the company, Facebook, in terms of accounting, they were not going to suffer from that buyout or that acquisition, if I may use that word, on a short-term basis. So this explains, as I announced, or described, the fact that Facebook thereafter it was a strong buy when it fell to $58. And remind, because this is important, that we bet on that correction in Facebook from that $70 plus all the way down to 58, and that gave a very large amount of profits on the short side. Therefore, this quarter, unlike the previous quarters, I would say that it's preferable to be short Facebook, regardless of whether or what the stock, whether it's going to jump after hours or not, because then it will be a matter of adding to the short side. And this because, I repeat what I said initially, of your large accumulated profits on a long-term basis. And this is not about trying to predict tops or bottoms. This is about guidance and instructions that I've been given here. And the instructions, they are very clear. You could maintain a long position in Facebook all the way up to these levels, or if you believe that you can see 83. But quite frankly, whatever the company is going to report, and this already also assuming that, let's say, the company is going to report a wonderful quarter, I think that if the shares, they jump to that price, they basically are priced for perfection, because my $83 target or upside already contemplated the best case scenario. So if the company, on the other hand, if they announce, for example, in terms of guidance, if for the first time they announce that the guidance, it will not be like before, and it will not be like before precisely because of that acquisition that was extraordinarily large, and everyone believes that it is going to work on the long term. But I have many doubts that it's going to work on the long term, because that is going to hurt results at some point. And so I prefer, quite frankly, as I explained, that this quarter I'm going to remain, or to be short, sorry, not to remain, but to be short Facebook, instead of having a long position, for all the motives, all the reasons that I mentioned here before. So this has been a recording live, and there is nothing else to be said. So I'm going to just click here on annotate. I think this is very clear, very transparent. No one has to have any doubts whatsoever. And I'm going to put here 100% long position Facebook closed. And therefore also Facebook short through earnings, regardless of the outcome. Okay, so this is a very important thing, and not only because of the vast accumulated profits in the past investing in Facebook, but also if you refer to, for example, the case studies, those that I've been publishing, and my trade calls in Amazon, in Netflix, in Chipotle, and so on. Quite frankly, I don't see any reason why you would not have a short position in Facebook. So this is my view, although I believe that there are better shorts in the market compared to Facebook. But it can very well happen that this, if it does not plunge, at least it trades sideways, and there is no reason to have or to remain 100% long Facebook. And don't forget that Wall Street at this point, I do believe that all of them are, or most of them are, or remain very bullish the stock, and they have been buying shares ahead of earnings announcement. In fact, you can look at the chart and you see that the selling volume is very low. Therefore, there is a very high percentage of funds that they are invested, that they have been buying shares ahead of earnings. So we are going to remain short, and I would say that depending obviously on what the company is going to say, but I would say that Facebook at this point, as it approaches $83, it is a sell and not a strong buy as it was before. Okay, so sell because upside is limited to 83. Therefore, short the stock. And where the strong buy rating it was given, or the buy rating if you want, because in fact the strong buy rating it comes from the $18 level, where the buy rating it was given, it was at $58 here in basically in May. So there was an opportunity to invest in Facebook once again, but at this price, my friends, forget it, because I don't think that Facebook is an investment going forward in that matters. Therefore, I'm going to call this Facebook October earnings, or Facebook earnings. I'm going to call it upload, and therefore this here you have. And so also today we reached record profits in the stock market, and I'm referring to some stocks that they announced today. I'm referring to Amazon, one of the best profits for the year, betting on the short side on the stock collapse. You have 279, and you are going to have a case study in Amazon with the call made at $348, and this is the live proof that you don't have any risk whatsoever, even if Facebook moves to the upside, to go or to remain short the stock. And also this was achieved in other call, so the more profits the more you make, in Yelp, where the stock collapsed, plunged to $56.75. If you confirm, this stock was down 20% or so, and in fact by far more, since we call the top around that region 90 to 95. So Amazon, it was a strong sell, as I announced. Facebook, in my opinion, if it misses, it is a sell, therefore you should be short the stock. And Yelp, it was a sell, with also a call made not long ago, in fact very recent, at $83, where I told you to sell long positions if you had long positions in Yelp. Okay, so this is just to confirm that I'm recording this live. Thank you.